Teacher, today I will read Harry Potter and the Philosopher Stone Part 2. Mirror Dursley still wrote to the sport. He had been hurt by a complete stranger. He also thought he had been called a muggle. Whatever that was. He was riddle. Riddle ở đây có nghĩa là rầm rầm. He hurried to his car and set off for home, hoping he was imagining things which he had never heard before, because he didn't approve of imagination. Approve ở đây có nghĩa là phê duyệt. As he pulled into the driveway of number 4, the first thing he saw, and it didn't improve his mood, was the tabby cat he just spotted that morning. Driveway có nghĩa là đường dành cho lái xe. Improve là phát triển. It was now sitting on his garden wall. He was sure it was the same one. It had the same markings around its eye. Shoo, said Mr. Dursley loudly. The cat didn't move. It just gave him a stern look. What is normal cat behavior? Mr. Dursley wondered, trying to pull himself together. He let himself into the house. He was still determined not to mention anything to his wife. Miss Dursley had had a nice normal day. She told him over dinner all about Miss Nestor's problem with her daughter and how Dudley had learned a new word. Want. Mr. Dursley tried to act normally. When Dudley had been put to go to bed, he went into the living room in time to catch the last report on evening news, and finally bird watchers everywhere have reported that nation owls have been behaving very unusually today. Although owls normally hunt at night and are hardly ever seen in daylight, there have been hundreds of sightings of these birds flying in every direction since sunrise. Experts are unable to explain why the owls have suddenly changed their sleeping pattern. The newscaster alone himself agreed. Newscaster có nghĩa là báo cáo viên. Most mysterious. And now over to Jim. MC Goofing with the weather. Going to be any more showers of hours tonight, Jim? Well, Ted, said the weatherman, I don't know about, but it's not only the hours that have acted oddly today. Viewers as far apart as Kent, Yorkshire, and Dundee have been phoning in to tell me that instead of the rain I promised yesterday, instead có nghĩa là thay thế, they have had a downpour of shooting star. Shooting star có nghĩa là sao băng. Perhaps people have been celebrating bonfire night early. It's not until next week, folks. But I can promise a wet night tonight. Mr. Dursley sat frozen in his armchair. Armchair có nghĩa là ghế có vành. Shooting stars are over Britain. Hours flying by daylight. Mysterious people in cloaks all over the place. And a whisper about the Potter. Miss Dursley came into the living room carrying 2 cups of tea. It was no good. He did have to say something to her. He cleared his throat nervously. Petunia, dear, you haven't heard from your sister lately, have you? As he had expected. Miss Darley looked shocked and angry. After all, they normally pretend she didn't have a sister. No, she said sharply. Why? Funny stuff on the news. Miss Darley mumbled. Our shooting star, and there were a lot of funny-looking people in today. So, snapped Miss Darley. Well, I just thought maybe it was something to do with her crowd. Miss Darley sipped her tea through pursed lip. Mr. Dursley wondered whether he dared tell her he had heard the name Potter. That he didn't dare. Instead, he said as casually as he could. Destin he'd be about Dudley's age now, wouldn't he? I suppose so, said Miss Dudley stiffly. What's his name again? Howard, isn't it? Harry, nasty common name, if you ask me. Oh, yes, said Mr. Dursley, his heart sinking horribly. Yes, I quite agree. He didn't say another word on the subject as they went upstairs to bed. While Miss Dursley was in the bathroom, Mr. Dursley crept to the bedroom window and peered down into the front garden. The cat was still here. It was staring down Private Drive as though it were waiting for something. Was he imagining things? Could all this have anything to do with the Potters? If it did, if it got out that they were related to a pair of, well, he didn't think he could bear it. The Dursleys got into bed. Miss Dursley fell asleep quickly, but Mr. Dursley lay awake, turning it all over in his mind. His last comforting thought before he fell asleep was that even if the Potter were involved, there was no reason for them to come near him and Miss Dursley. The Potters knew very well what he and Petunia thought about them and their kind. He couldn't see how he and Petunia could get mixed up in anything that might be going. He yawned and turned over. It could affect them. How very wrong he was. Mr. Dursley might have been drifting into an uneasy sleep, but the cat on the wall outside was showing no sign of sleepiness. It was sitting as still as a statue. Statue ở đây có nghĩa là tượng. Its eye missed unblinkingly on the far corner of Private Drive. It didn't so much as waver when a car door slammed on the next street, nor when 2 hours swooped overhead. In fact, it was nearly midnight before the cat moved at all. A man appeared on the corner. The cat had been watching. appeared so suddenly and silently you did have thought he did just pop out of the crowd. The cat's tail twitched and its eye narrowed. Nothing like this man had ever been seen on Private Drive. He was tall, thin, and very old, judging by the sliver of his hair and beard, which were both long enough to tuck into his belt. Belt ở đây có nghĩa là đai lưng, đai điện bụng. Beard ở đây có nghĩa là râu. He was wearing long robes, a purple cloak that swept the ground, and high-heeled, buckled boots. His blue eyes were light, bright, and sparkling behind half-moon spectacles, and his nose was very long and crooked, as though it had been broken at least twice. This man's name was Albus Dumbledore. Albus Dumbledore didn't seem to realize that he had just arrived in a street where everything from his name to his boot was unwelcome. He was busy rummaging in his cloak, looking for something, but he did seem to realize he was being watched, because he looked up suddenly at the cat, which was still staring at him from the other end of the street. For some reason, the sight of the cat seemed to amuse him. He chuckled and murmured, "I should have known." He found what he was looking for in his inside pocket. It seemed to be a sliver lighter. He flicked it open, held it up in the air, and clicked it. The nearest street lamp went out with a little pop. He clicked it again. The next lamp flickered into darkness 12 times. He clicked the boot outer until the only lights lit on the Wall Street were two tiny brick in the distance, which were the eyes of the cat watching him. If anyone looked out of their window now, and even beady-eyed mysteriously, they wouldn't be able to see anything that was happening down on the pavement. Dumbledore slipped the boot outer back inside his car and set off down the street toward number 4, where he sat down on the wall next to the cat. I have did not look at it, but despite the two moments I have spoke to item. Fancy seeing you here, Professor McGonagall. I have turned to smile at the tabby, but item had gone. Instead, was smiling at a rather serve-looking woman while was wearing square glasses exactly the same markings the cat had around its eyes. She, too, was wearing two cloaks, an emerald one. Her black hair was drawn into tight bun. She looked distinctly ruffled. Distinctly ở đây có nghĩa là rõ ràng. How did you know item was me? She asked. My dear professor, I go never sing to cat, said S.W. stiffly. You did be stiff if you did been sitting onto the brick wall all day, said Professor McGonagall. All day? When you could have been entering the day by delivering it by making a difference. I must have passed 2,000 feasts and parties on my wayward. Professor McGonagall sniffed angrily. Goodbye, teacher. Thank you for listening.